It's your boy Nizzy, and we are back for some more recaps for the High School League in Week 2 Valorant. We had Penn Trafford taking on Bishop Carroll, Forest Hills up against Hollidaysburg, and Somerset versus Greater Johnstown. Let's take a look at our top 5 plays of Week 2 for Valorant. Starting off at number 5, coming in hot, it is Sacrificed, picking up a triple, taking out all 3 members there. And moving on to number 4, we had Skip, who we all know is great with the pistol in hand, doesn't matter what weapon, gets that clutch double 1-on-2 to win that round. You love to see it. Moving on to clip number 3, it's Junie not available, getting a quick triple there. And moving on to number 2, it's Vaco of Forest Hills getting a quick scope bang and another quick scope bang. Love it. And that brings us to our number 1 play of the week. It is Ether of Penn Trafford mowing them down. Gets a triple there, gets the blind in there, and boom, gets the 4th kill to be your #1 play of the week. But he's not done yet. Boom, there goes Italian Schemo. He's gone. Get off the ladder. Get off the rope. He's done. Penn Trafford 13-0 over Bishop Carroll. Hollidaysburg gets the victory over Forest Hills 13-4. And Greater Johnstown 13-6 over Somerset. Let's take a look at our standings. Greater Johnstown Trojans are on top with a record of 2-0. And we are moving on to week number 3. Nizzy's out.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Esport Company High School League Valorant Spring of 2022 season. I'm Soavdan. I'm in Cute Noob's a little under the weather today, but maybe you know this guy. I mean, if you follow the Rocket League scene here, you might know this guy. It's Sizz. Hey, Sizz, welcome in.
Hey man, excited to be here. Yeah, like you mentioned, I'm pretty well known around the Rocket League side of things. This is my first time for the Valorant today, but pretty excited to be here. It's going to be a fun time experience, but enough about me. Let's go ahead and take a look now for the standings after week number 2. Hasn't been up for a very long time, so we're not going to know too much about these records, but really standing out, Greater Johnstown coming in with that 2-0 record. Windber 1-0, Penn Trafford 1-0, Hollidaysburg finishing out at 1-0. And the rest of these so have not the strongest start that you would have hoped for them.
Nah, it's still week 3, so it's early, but Greater Johnstown, like you said, 2-0, they've been looking very good, and Bishop Carroll falling, unfortunately, to 0-2. We'll see them again. Maybe they'll get a chance to redeem themselves here because, I mean, that's what's on the bill today, right? We got game 1 is going to be the Windber Ramblers versus the Garnet Valley Jaguars. That's coming up shortly. Game 2 will be the Penn Trafford Warriors and the Forest Hill Rangers. And game 3 is going to be the Bishop Carroll Huskies and the Greater Johnstown Trojans. So that's going to be just polar ends of the spectrum. But let's check in with these teams for this first round because we got 2 teams coming in here. We got for Windber, the Ramblers, we've got Quen, we've got Bucky, we've got Kunai, Anjas, and Jace and Shark Killer to round out the roster. A couple new faces for Windber this week.
And they're going to be facing off against the Garnet Valley Jaguars, which is going to be TEC, Lafatize, Frost, and Excurima. So that's going to be interesting to see those 2 face off. And for this first one, Garnet Valley decided to ban Haven. I know a lot of teams, a lot of players, they aren't the biggest fans when it comes to playing that map. What do you think about that one?
Bind, we've seen a lot of bind here. I personally like the map. I also played in beta, so that tells you exactly how far and how used to bind I am as a valid map. But yeah, we're going back to the desert. I think a lot of these teams have practiced this and they're looking ready for it. I mean, I think it's a good place. It's not, we kind of were talking about this prior. I think we expected Haven, but hey, I like some variety in my games.
Oh, most definitely. And the thing I love about Valorant, like I mentioned earlier, it always causes you to have to adapt. There's always different teams, different rosters that you can build for each individual map. Buying one of those maps kind of very angle heavy, very corner heavy. You want a lot of initiating. Sova is someone that I see picked up a lot. Ray's also using those nades, those Roombas through the teleporters. So definitely interested to see how Garnet Valley will play because they're defending first.
Yeah, coming out from the side of, that'll be the Windber Ramblers. They're eyeing that Yoru. What do you think of that Yoru pick? We saw this last week a little too, but what do you think about the Yoru pick here?
I can't say I'm too surprised because Yoru recently with that patch, he got pretty buffed. A lot of that fake out ability, sitting that clone, and it hits you with a flash if you hit it direct on. He's gotten pretty powerful, so I can't say I'm too surprised to see it. I'm definitely interested to see how that they utilize it, if they kind of use it more as an initiator, first contact type of player, or if he's going to be lurking a lot, just trying to fake out sides and stuff. I love watching Yoru players, though, because it's always a treat to see the magic. Yeah, very fascinating.
They're wild. Meanwhile, on the other side, they're going with what I was expecting. They've got the Brimstone, who's gotten they've gotten that big buff, and that they've made Brimstone the best duelist in the game, as some have claimed. But there's that. There's the Killjoy, great space control and a great Sentinel. But they're eyeing for the double duelist and the single initiator on the side of the Jaguars.
I'm a little bit surprised. I'm not seeing a Jet picked, which Jet pretty
Jet.
common. And people notoriously for a very long time have considered Jet to be the top duelist. Can that be changing here? Well, clearly we've got 2 race players coming in, and no Yoru. They actually switched off the Yoru. They came in with a Sova, which I mentioned that earlier. I like seeing Sova on bind. It can be very beneficial. Astra, I'm not so sure, because recently with that patch, she got pretty heavily nerfed. It seems like Omen and Brimstone kind of coming up to the top right now.
I mean, Astra can still be good, I think, if you can play it well, right? Because now it just takes a lot more, I don't want to say commitment, but you have to plan a lot more safely with Astra, right?
Yeah, it used to be kind of one of those overpowered characters that you could just pick and go with the flow. Now it takes a little bit more dedication, I think, a little bit more smarts, a little bit knowing when to use your utility, which Valorant mentioned they were trying to get out of the character was using more brain, maybe less just hammering the abilities. So I like the pick still. I love Astra as a character, and I think especially with that raise and the Sova, so much util, so much just raw damage that you can get from that, getting those sucks in, I think that could be a pretty beneficial play for them.
Yeah, not to mention Garnet Valley has opted for the double Sentinels. They're opting a little bit more interesting, like just kind of static play. But they'll just approach. That'll be a boom bot just to see who's in there, followed by a paint shells to clear some space. So just vying some space for each other. That'll be one boom bot down and one boom bot just seeing itself out. But the Razors will make contact, just a couple picks, and Kunai will come up with the first shot, and that'll be the start of the initiate. On to B, the Rays will the Reyna will fall there, and the paint shells will find one from Kunai, who has looked incredibly good to start this off. Space is buying 3v4 here, trying to find some more, and that will be some flames going down there. Trades continue to come in, but this approach from Garnet Valley is just they're wearing down.
Oh yeah, and we saw the rotation there, not quite. We saw a lot of people just stacked up to the back of the site. They didn't have a lot of map control there. They had that early pick on in Hookah, and that had to force them to back off. That was great utilization of the space given, though. And that's a strong start here for Windber. We see them all force buying Spectres, no fear at all, trying to just take advantage of that early start. And a quick early start can be pretty key for a lot of these teams.
Yeah, you go up that 1-0, and you kind of assume the other team's just going to save. So this is like a freebie round in some ways, right? Like you just know it's kind of just winning on guns.
And of course, too, some players will like to try to early out and cheat up and get a fast rotate, maybe try to get a gun or two and pick off just to hurt that econ a little bit when they force those Spectres. It generally doesn't tend to work out as well, so you're going to win when you have a bunch of SMGs, but hey, anything is possible. Sometimes those eco rounds are what your team needs just to get the boost going.
Yep, and speaking of that will be a Lear, followed by a Wolf coming out. Will find Lapis Eyes, and will get traded and picked, unfortunately. Quen going in deep. Will find a second from Excrema, and the rest of the team rotates in, but that smoke is down, and suddenly Quen going deep will get punished for it eventually, but the spike is down, and that's going to start the 4v3.
And I like that play from Quinn, that early aggression there, just trying to run and gun. That's the joy of Reyna. When you have a Spectre on an eco round, you can get a lot of damage in the overhill. We see TEC taking out that turret, Kunai getting one at the end. One more for him. It's going to be Brisket at 1v4. Not really much you can do there.
Nah, again, gun power kind of wins a lot. And I mean, but for the side of Garnet Valley, you took one out of the hands, right? Like you managed to force some eco out, so you're happy with that, I think, right?
I mean, Quinn looked like he was trying to buy the rifle, still maybe deciding, and he's gonna go for the elective, just going with the econ. I like the choice, not trying to hurt your own economy, staying on the team's wavelength. So maybe here, a little bit of punishment if Garnet Valley can take advantage of that. See, though, sometimes Spectres, when you win that first round, if you keep rolling in, you play these short, tight angles, you can actually get around here. We see Frost is electing for the judge play, though. This early hookah aggression, that can be very key. I'd like to see him get a pick or two here.
I like that, but that Boombot's going to spot him out, and that will be that aggression coming in. Does get the shot, but doesn't, unfortunately, clean it up. And Kunai will throw those paint shells out, buys the space. They know they've got the numbers here, followed by that Brimstone Molly just coming out there. Lear to lead it the way in, and she will hit the trap wire, and that'll make Quen fall. That aggression not quite paying off again, just kind of getting punished for a showstopper. Does catch two, though! Kunai is coming up huge, already has 4. There's just one left. Will they find the ace? Do they even know where the Astra is?
It doesn't look like it. Astra very late flank, but the problem is they're pushing up so close to CT. They have so much pressure now. Killjoy gonna check it, maybe get it. No, actually going to. Lafatai is unable to finish that one. And look at the plays. Look at the aggression from Kunai. 4 kills with the Spectre, running and gunning, no fear. 10-0 right now. You can't ask for a better start.
No, that's an incredible start for Windber. And I mean, I admire Frost's gumption to make that play, right? Like that was a good play for Hookah, assuming you might you might fake that spot. But with these boombots out, like you have to assume you're gonna get spotted out, right?
That's what I was afraid of. When you have so much intel coming out from that Boomba and you can just clear Hookah so easily, when you're left by yourself in Hookah and you're challenging it solo, you're gonna get a lot of util dumped on you. So I think Frost gonna be more wary to be playing in that Hookah spot more, as Laptai is just trying to spray through the smoke, get a few hits, but doesn't really work out for him.
No, but they've got the important information that someone is there, and you can see they're just going to hold that down. That will bring the star down, and that will be clearing that up. And now that Engage is there, Tech going to send out the drone and see if they can find anything. We'll get picked, but that'll be a Lear to bring this up and open it out. We'll eventually find them space. The blast pack is in. We're going to go deep. Kunai going huge again. Does manage to find 2. Looking for 3rd. They find the 3rd one there. It's closed. The walls are closing into that U-Haul, and they're going to find it. Kunai coming up huge again. 4 for 4.
Kunai. He's so good. He's nice shot from Frost though, but still 1v3. What can you do? So much util coming out. They could be anywhere the angle. Gonna use the room just to try to clear something. Oh, wait a second. Frost. Frost.
Oh, Frost coming to life here.
Is he?
Gets the ace. That's huge.
Frost.
Oh man, these breezes are coming up so big.
When you're not solo in Hookah, you're on a 1v5, look at what you can do. Frost just utilizing every angle. He took every fantastic 1v1, utilized the space given to him, pick by pick by pick. That is picture perfect. That's a highlight play if I've ever seen one.
Oh yeah, clip that, send that to whoever you're trying to get a scholarship to. That's beautiful, and that puts them back in the game. Garnet Valley now on the board finally, 3-1.
Oh, but Frost going back to this Hookah. Looks though like Windber's stacking up towards A side. That's something too I've noticed, that on offense they are heavily pushing one side. They're not trying to just bait out information. They are committing to it. They're not really faking anything out, and it's been working so far. I mean, Frost just became hero, Superman there to win them that round, but still, Windber, their offense still threatening, still very dangerous. I'd like to see how they try to play out this A main smoke here by Astra.
Yep, they will send out the stars and just spray in, trying to find anybody there. I think they've realized the pressure is there, though, on the A side, but meanwhile, from Showers is coming the flank, so the rest of the team rotate will come through. A lot of that utility remaining behind, but Lapshite has already taken some damage, needs to get healed up, so is going to have to hang back for that Sage, and that's an early piece of utility you might want later.
Oh, look at Garnet Valley. They sent everyone back. Now, finally, it looks like one player's going to start lurking back to the B side. I think they realized that it was a fake. So now 3 players running back through spawn, trying to meet him out. Still, that Cypher utility's down. It hasn't been tripped, hasn't been any presence shown. So it's going to give this defense time to set up and get in a better position. Windber sending everyone long, trying to get something going here. But I think Garnet Valley's got him red.
No, they know it's there. Frost has the info. Is going to pull out that showstopper. Will they find it? No, they didn't find anybody there, but that will still be out there. We'll find the Sky on the one side, though, and Frost coming to life here. That will be 2 picks from the other side, though, of Windber. The Ramblers coming to life there. Looking in. Quen goes in long, manage to find one there. But the double swing gets picked off there. Another round decisively for the Ramblers.
And it's Quen, again, doing so much aggression, getting so much map control, just pushing into elbow there, trying to set up his team, pops the ultimate, and Arena in a 1v1 with the ultimate. You gotta hope that you can get that headshot off quick, because if you don't, well, we saw there, 3 quick kills for Quen. I like to see that said 3 times fast, but still, Windber's offense looking pretty dangerous. Garnet Valley, even with the rotation, that early rotation, we saw all of them come back to site. It is so difficult to play against the util usage by Windber right now.
They have been putting their utility to use, and it's going to be a save round for Garnet Valley, but Frost did manage to find a judge. Oh no, history repeats itself again. They know it's there. Will finally get some value, though, with this judge. You love to see it. Paint Shell comes out. Will try, unfortunately, pay the price for it. It was a good attempt with those blast packs, but just couldn't quite get themselves out. And now that Hookah is in their control, they've got a little bit there. It's going to be a recon bolt, just try to see, I'm sorry, a shock bolt, just to try to get some pressure out. And Garnet Valley giving up the position here.
Yeah, I think they like that judge play from Frost, but still not able to really capitalize on it. They're on still an economy round, can't really push up, trying to wait for this tripwire. Maybe Bucky's gonna hit it, but no, still unable to capitalize. Bristy wasn't able to get the headshot. Now the plant begins.
Last player standing.
4v1 is not looking good. Kunai again just showing up on the board. They know what's going on there. Brisk T trying to get out. Not looking too brisk right now. Will get picked by Bucky, and that's going to close it out here for them. And the Ramblers have been looking good. I mean, it's not, I'm not going to say they're looking dominant, because obviously they've given up around here, but I will say they are a tour de force. Kunai 18-2.
Goodness. Some players, they just have a great series. They start off strong, and Kunai, even with the strong start, has looked like he's not letting go of the gas pedal at all. And I think Garnet Valley has a pretty good defensive setup here, but they just unable to stop Kunai. A lot of early presence, a lot of map control given to them. So maybe here we see like an early challenge, maybe a quick little pick on the Garnet Valley defense, try to clear up some map control. We see them stacking 3 on B, but Windber setting up for the A strike.
And you can see the Wolf is coming in. They haven't really found anything they're looking for, so they're feeling good. And Kunai is just given free access to the showers, no charge. But now that Laftize has kind of figured out what's going on, they'll block some sites and try to get some value here. But the site is basically in and free. Experima will fall first, and Frost will trade back there. But as the paint shells fly, there's so much utility just going out, trying to find value. And Spike has yet to go down. That'll be the Seekers too, just to try to get some utility out there. Shots fired and traded, but it's 2-2, and they are stuck in U-Haul. Bucky will come up the winner of that, and they're just going to get out of dodge there. Char is going to go ahead and just get the Spike down. That's kind of the more important thing here.
The Cypher utility still, he's got 2 trips and the camera up. That could be huge for Bristy here. For them playing Hookah, just kind of playing on the counter here for Shark. Oh, he's waiting, trying to use that camera still, but they still haven't shot the camera. This could be huge for Bristy.
Yeah, if he comes up big here, they will drop that. We'll again get another ping. That will be the trapwire too. They will clear it though. So 2v1, Spike is down, and time is running out for the Cypher, who is trying to take this angle. Bucky thinks they know where they're coming from. Play it there. Will unfortunately come up short, and Brisk T will unfortunately have to chill.
And I like that play from Bucky and Sharkiller, just to play off of each other, playing off that initial contact. Even with the camera, Bristy's not able to get a lot going there. That's 6-1 now for Windbird. We see no stoppage of play. It looks like they're trying to set up maybe towards the offensive side here in A. Either side that they've been going to, it's been relatively, I wouldn't say freeload, but they've run through them pretty simply.
Pretty quickly. All the ults available for Garnet Valley though, so this is a good round to put their foot down and see if they can draw some attention here. An early boom bot will just get immediately picked, followed by paint shells. All that raise utility just out immediately. And Frost again with this judge, just trying to be the jury and executioner as well, but they're stacking around. They think they're hesitating around this B site, and I think they've committed now. They're full stack, and they're going to try and split this.
I think too, they're maybe a little bit scared of that Hookah presence. They saw last time, they had to double guess about it, because Frost did manage to pick off Reyna. It didn't really lead to a lot for Garnet Valley, but still, as we see all of them hunkering down towards long, util coming out though, it's going to be a dangerous 5v5 here. With Experiment back on the side, there's a Raze ult coming out. 2 Raze ults maybe here. The judge play gets 1. Not able to get the second though.
No, it's 3v3 on the point though, and Laftize is holding back, trying to hold those angles and play with it. Not quite there. Windber Ramblers do have the space, but they're not able to take it. They're not worried about taking that space. They're just going to go ahead and just get the picks instead. They will eventually get the Spike down as 1 more to go. That's going to be a bird. Will unfortunately die to Kunai again, and again just another successful run by the Windber Ramblers.
TEC not able to do a lot there. You've got a Sky Flash coming in, you're 3-1. You have a Spectre trying to take on a Vandal from that distance. Yeah, sometimes it works, but clearly able to get that one going. Kunai 22-3 now, leading the front for his team. Only Raze for Garnet Valley. Frost there used his ultimate, managed to get 1 from it. Still holding on to those ults. Maybe a pre-round ult here from Sova. Maybe a prediction just to get something going, clear some of this map, because once they get on site, it's been game over for Garnet Valley.
And they've just been kind of giving this up for free, right? Like in a lot of ways, they've just been kind of giving up this space. They'll back up and they'll buy it, and they're making that smart swap. They're letting the Cypher take over A side. I actually kind of like Cypher on the A side better. I think you have a lot more ability to get those angles. Boombot again to clear that out, but that will be the Wolf finding that out. Frost will get found out again, trying to play those cheeky corners. Not quite getting value on that, but Sage Wall will come up, and now they know it's out there, but the Sage on this flank, trying to get it from long. Frost will punish Char, and that's going to be the opening they might need for Garnet Valley.
It's good map control for Frost during that long player. Kunai getting picked, a little bit of a love tap there. Now the Brimstone ult coming in, but still all the players stuck in Hookah. Look at Bristol T on the flank. He's got such good positioning, but they checked him. Kunai, perfect timing. You can't really ask for it better than that.
No, still lying in wait. That'll be the Lear. Didn't get it up though. Has finally come. Black Guys is just putting in the work though. Hasn't needed it. Spike is down now, and it's just 4v1 for the side of Garnet Valley. But Kunai is still alive, and that's enough of a problem in itself.
Low HP though. A nade comes out. Not a lot you could do. Kind of hoping for a miracle at this point. Maybe get. Oh goodness, what a shot. Okay, Windber here. 1v2. Oh, both players though. Look at the health of Sova and Astra.
We're going in. We're going in. Gets picked. Gets picked on the showstopper. The show has quite literally been stopped.
Appetize the reaction time on that. There you go. All right, Garnet Valley, you got one finally underneath your belt from a lot of hard work, sweat, and blood and tears for that one, but you managed it. And look at the play early on from Frost. I think that was the biggest noticeable thing. The early aggression with the judge B long gets the clear, and it just sets up so much map control for them. I think that early aggressive play from one of the players, if it's going to be Frost, let it be Frost. It's going to be the key here to just kind of calm down the offensive Windber.
Yeah, they need to get back in control of this game, right? They've been giving up a lot of things, and they had a good round pick earlier. Frost came to life with that ace, but they need a little bit more, and that recon bolt getting picked early is going to tell them exactly where they are. Just going to clear out that showers, try and see if anybody's home. No one's there, but that'll be a Lear to lead this in, and that Reyna pushing and taking that space. Doesn't find anybody. Tech will get spotted out and unfortunately get traded. It's unfortunate what happens when you hold the angle and can't quite clear it, but the plant will come in. And, I mean, they don't quite have control of the space, but they have enough, as it were.
Oh, that's a nice peek. Shark Killer getting the timing. Frost was trying to throw the nade. 2v5 now. Garnet Valley hoping for a miracle. Quinn, nice shot. Low HP, gonna get the hill. Sky using the dog. Risky. What can you do? Pull out the knife. Accept defeat. Go to the next round.
Yeah, unfortunately, they had control of it. They just had a little bit more, right? They had the information, they were able to get the utility. And that's kind of the thing about this quick moving comp, right? The Brimstone just allows you to move so quick, the Reyna will come in and just clear those spaces. And a lot of these pieces just move so fast around the side of the Ramblers.
That's what I love about Brim. You can get those smokes down so fast. You can throw the molly to hold it at an angle. You can throw the stim beacons down. And even for Astra, that's the big key difference between Astra right now with Omen and Brimstone is it can take so long to set up the utility. It forces you to play so much further back from your team. Sometimes that can be good, but against this fast-paced offensive Windber, struggling just to get a hold on Frost. Deagle not able to get a lot going there.
No, and speaking of fast-paced, that'll be 3. Fast-pacedly backing out from those moon shells, but Astra Star will come in just to block some sites. They've figured out it's on that rotation. They're leaving the Cypher behind, though, just in case, you never know. But just trying to find any sort of value here as the utility gets traded out. And there it is. There's the rotation through. So now there's a scramble back to A point. They've heard it. And, oh, that's a cheeky play from Anjace. Just going to try and get some value out of that. Lear will come in. We'll find that tripwire. Interesting use of that smoke to try to get some value. We'll get some, and we'll eventually get that. Quinn will come up big, and now it's about even, and we'll find some more. Quinn coming up huge on this Reyna. You had to commit the Killjoy ult, though, and did they even need it at this point? I mean, they've got control in this 4v2.
You're up 8-2, maybe a little bit of overkill, but they've been running through the sites even without the ultimate, so I think that's just a little bit of, we're running through right now. We know that we've got the pace, the control of the game. We're going to put it down for overkill, and Frost maybe gets one for the road. He's expecting his gun. He says, this is looking rough for me.
Yeah, this is not it. I mean, do you even save the Sheriff here, though? Like, is it worth it? You might, you play for the oh, there's an Odin. I'm sorry, it's an Ares, though. I mean, that Ares is worth playing for an exit pick. No, we'll just get cleaned up, unfortunately. I might have grabbed that Ares and run, honestly.
I mean, yeah, the air is a gun too that's been kind of hated on for the lengthy time that Valorant's been around, and then they finally buffed it, but they buffed it too much. So like, all right, we'll nerf it down a little bit, but still, it's very valuable, especially for wallbangs. If you watch any streams, you see these people set up these cheeky little wallbang pre-fires going on. Could he have grabbed it and saved it? Absolutely, but he's going back to Old Faithful, the good old judge.
Yeah, I guess in that regards, you can't even really be mad about that, because Frost has gotten a lot of value with this judge, and I used to be afraid of various agents with judges, and Breeze is definitely number one. That'll be a boombot again. Story, a tale as old as time, will get found out, and that will be the boombot spotting him out, and Kunai will again trade that out. Hunter's Fury too, just to kind of buy some space, try and punish there. Did manage to catch, but TEC unfortunately not able to bring it home. Paint shells thrown in just to try to buy a little more space, clearing out some of those spaces. And again, the Ramblers just have control of this space, and they are ready to take in and start moving. Lear comes out looking for more. That'll be a paint shell and a molly into the background. Just try to buy some spot. Quen over the top, unfortunately, does not find what they're looking for, but TEC dangerously low, trying to find a little bit more. The Ramblers trying to buy this space, still not quite in. And Cypher will just commit the ultimate. They now know everything. But it doesn't help them too much. Bristy will find one, but Bike not down. And 1v3, Bristy has to come up huge. Is this the time?
1 HP though, there's not all you can do, and that timing, it looked like Bucky was gonna go into the tube. I'm sure Brisky got faked out by the audio of the footsteps there, and still Windber, the dominant offense. I think Garnet Valley had the idea there of the Sova ult trying to clear up the space. I just would have liked to have seen it sooner. When Frost got hit by the Roomba, they knew he was there, all the players were spotted up. I think it would have gave him time to bail out, but Calm maybe just came in a little bit too late. 10-2 now. Garnet Valley staring down the face of defeat.
I mean, it's so close as we finish up this half and we're into the new half. The more defensive, slower team now has the attack. So what do you think their keys to success need to be here?
Well, I mean, clearly Frost, at least based off the scoreboard, has been kind of the forefront, the leader of the team. Both raises have really been the key performer for each. I think utilizing Frost, just letting him kind of work his way, weave his way through the sites, get that util down, use the Sova drone a lot. And I think that could be the key here. But look at the early aggression from Shark Killer just out of Closet. They're trying to get some sort of vision. I like the play.
Yeah, they do know. They've drawn out some utility and they've gotten themselves in now. Thankfully, it's pistol round, so they've got a little bit there. But Xkirma will get picked. Unfortunately, Kunai found the head hanging out high there. Bucky will follow up with another one of their own. And Windber, again, coming up big on this defense. Kunai coming up again for 3, and that'll be the last one, making it a quick and easy run for 11-2.
I think that key for that round was just that Sky Dog coming out quickly. I saw 3 players there down A short coming out of U-Haul. That's all the intel that you need from a team, just to back up. Like, all right, they're coming down A short. Let's reset and get our team situated over here. A few people rotated over. Kunai had a great position, and just off of those angles, Garnet Valley not able to win those 1v1s. They have to force. We see them buying the Spectres here. They don't really have a choice. You're gonna come in clutch here. I don't know, but you have to. You got to throw all the cards on the table at this point.
Yeah, you're running out of time, and I agree. So they have to. Quen looking for that aggressive play. Aggressive and Marshall, not two things they usually put together, but I respect it and will get some value just as I say that. So there's the opening pick, and that B side is suddenly looking very good. We'll find 2. Oh, Quen is having a field day over here on this arena. Will looking for more, doesn't find anybody, and the Sage will back off for Garnet Valley. But they're just taking, look at this aggressive stance in the back line. We'll get punished eventually, but so aggressive, they've got them cornered now.
Yeah, I'm not sure if Queen is on Reyna or Jet with all of these aggressive plays, but it is working. Look at Bristy pushing out there. That's a good pick, though. And maybe on the push-up Kunai, though. 1v3 trying to win. Oh, goodness, look at the play. Now he's going to... Oh, what a smart play just to get the pick and fall off for his team. Look at the map control, too. He's positioned so well to see the rotate. 2 players on B. They're pinned. They don't have anywhere to go.
Do they know that, though? Because Bristy has found some contact. We'll try to find somebody, and will eventually get picked. Marshall's on for Frost. Does manage to find... Can they trade 5 HP? And a Dream does find the second. There's one more. It's just Raze on Raze now. And
he didn't get the bomb.
He didn't get the spike, though. Spike is there, and the paint shells are out. Kunai only has those blast packs left, and meanwhile, Frost has everything but just 5 HP. All it's going to take is... There it is. It was just the wrong peak. Man, I feel like you should have just thrown Boombot at that point, right?
Yeah, you're 5 HP, you're in a Marshall, you know that Kunai has Spectre, you know Kunai, no one hit him, he's very high HP, not a lot of faith to get there. The time ticking down, it can be really hard as a player to make that decision.
Yeah, that's a tough judgment call.
But still, though, I mean, look at the Windber's playing offense on defense right now.
Oh yeah, they're just playing so aggressively, and it's just so it's very well run by them. They're earning this win hands down.
They can't get an in.
Looks like though they're trying to set up to the A side. Garnet Valley didn't work very well last time, but then again, B didn't do the greatest either though. Look at that Hurley vision again for Shard Killer. Kunai pushing up. It does get punished, but he managed to take one down with him.
Yep, and that will be another flash. They have the information now. The Cypher wall will come down, and that will get, so they know he's there. Will manage to get it through the smokes. Well played by Shar. Has to give up that space and has to try to buy some time. The push is there, but there's no reinforcements, and Skirma will trade out there. But now as the rest of the team comes in, they have to get the spike down for Garnet Valley if they want to try to get any sort of hope of getting this round win. Lear comes in, trying to find someone. Quen playing from the back end will find one. Looking for more, will get out of dodge, and will unfortunately, that'll stall the push for the time being. Lapatize goes down also, but the heal is just Extrema, the last remaining Garnet Valley player, with a hope and a dream. Does get spotted out, and there's the last pick. Windber Ramblers bring it home 13-2.
Experiment last alive there at stage. He'll try to get something going, managed to bring down Bucky, but Quinn was there with the Marshall, holding the angle, predicting it well, and Windber just pure offensive aggression, defensive aggression the entire round. Look at Kunai.
35-5. Wow. That's
beyond belief.
That's insane. That is Kunai killed the team at least once before falling. Like, that's just insane. That is a dominance of the lobby, right? Like, that is, but like, let's take it back a minute here. Both Raze players there on this bind map were on top.
And that's what I was kind of hoping to see. I love watching Raze players on bind. It's one of my favorite things. Yeah, I didn't really see a lot of Roombas or nades through the teleporter, but still, regardless, that's just a pet peeve, but I love seeing people do that. But 642 combat score for Kunai, 301 for Frost. Frost, that's the type of stat line that you would expect from a top player, and Kunai just... He just had one of those days. You can't really ask for a better. Is there better? I don't know.
And we'll have to see. I mean, there's 2 more games up ahead. We're going to take a quick break, so let's see who can top that performance when we come back from this quick break. Welcome back, everyone, to the Esports Company. It's Valorant. It's week 3. We're here for game 2. We just finished out the previous game 1 there with the Windber Ramblers bringing away the W versus the Garnet Valley Jaguars. And Sizz, I mean, we got a heck of a game. It's the Penn Trafford Warriors versus the Forest Hill Rangers. Both these teams kind of middle of the pack right now.
Yeah, it appears that way. Penn Trafford and Forest Hills, both teams that Penn Trafford is actually dominating the Rocket League scene right now, but Forest Hills kind of that midpoint team. So it seems like it's both carrying over to Valorant as well. But for the roster for Penn Trafford, we've got Hello, Ether, Roasted Turkey, M&A, and is that Quarter? I believe
Quarter, that's Quarter.
Yeah,
M&A
Quarter.
M&A, you'll see them on Sage, and Ether will see as Profit in there, just for those keeping track at home. Meanwhile, over for the other green and yellow team in Forest Hills, we've got Skip, we've got Vaco, we've got Flip Stingray, we've got Jakey Poo, and we've got Kaide. We'll see them in game as Hayasaka. So, there may be some confusion, but you'll know who they are if you know them.
And it looks like Forest Hills is banning Fracture, and excited about because honestly, I just like watching people play Haven.
Haven's a good map. Like it's arguably one of the standards that a lot of Valorant teams like to play. And I mean, what do you think we're going to see here? Because we've seen a lot of non-standard picks. So like, what things do you think we would expect to see from Haven?
Well, generally speaking, you run a double Sentinel on Haven. 9 times out of 10, you run it. You kind of have to.
Yeah.
I really would like to see a Chamber come out on Haven. I love Chamber.
Ooh,
Cypher too. Cypher's very good. Sage, all of those are optimal. Even Killjoy, not my favorite, but definitely an option. And hopefully we see a Jet on this map. I think Jet is vital in Haven. You have this long, narrow walkways throughout the map. So I think Jet being able to dash out and clear a lot of that space is going to be key here.
Not to mention just all the various sneaky kind of high ground positions that you might want to take. There's so many different high angles you just might want to have control of. But well, you'll get your wish. We'll at least see one from the side of Forest Hills on the attacking side to start. So they're looking with kind of what I would have expected. Honestly, there's the Sage for Quarter, but it looks like that's going to be pretty standard.
Yeah, and we see Sage for Quarter, Sage for Skip. Jakey hovering over that Yoru. I think he's still trying to decide on who to run. We've got a Reyna coming in, Reyna Jet, or maybe a Race. No one's really locking in yet, so I think they're still kind of going around deciding it. Hey, oh, there we go. All right, there's the Chamber. I like that. That's giving me plus rep for them, and I'm gonna be favoring them now because they got the Chamber.
That's all it takes. Sizz is very easily swayed. You heard it here first, but Roasted Turkey, that is going to be, I'm sorry, I have to double check that name there. Oh, no, they are Roasted Turkey. They're playing under that name now. They were playing under a different name last week. But Roasted Turkey, eyeing that breach, I actually do like that you have so many different walls you can kind of get these advantage of these breach utility on, right?
Yeah, Roasted Turkey, I like that play just for the simple fact that, like you mentioned, those walls and stuff, it creates a lot of space. And that Trimmer, just that enough to quake some teams, especially on A, just that pre-lobby where they're all hovering together, you get that Trimmer, it can open up like a quick jet peek with an op maybe, or even if you just want to solo peek it with a Vandal, things like that. And we see, this is a nice comp. I like both of these teams' comps. Not really sure the idea though of not running smokes on him.
That's concerning. That's where I had a concern is I could see like I'm so curious because you must value your entry, right? Like you must value and expect that Vaco and Jakey are going to get some sort of value because otherwise you have no way to really like you're just expecting your utility to clear your space for you, I guess, and just like just hope the sightlines get cleared up. Maybe you're expecting your Jet to kind of set up that. I don't know.
I mean, if you want to be technical, no, don't hate me, chat. But if you want to be technical, Jet does have smokes. So technically speaking, Jet is a smoke character. No, jokes aside.
The duelist controller hybrid, as it were.
Yeah. Not sure how to work. Maybe their game plan is just to run around a lot, get a few picks, and then go back to the other side. They don't need smokes for that, or it's going to be very heavily gun-based, very heavily one-on-one situated, a lot of just aim fights, 50-50s. Regardless, though, the strat, they're going to have to find one. I'm sure they have one because you have to have a legitimate reason not to play smokes.
Oh, yeah, and we'll see this because this is going to be their approach. They're just going to vie for some information at first.
Standing ahead. Roasted
Turkey left alone on C. Not who I was expecting to lead there, but, I respect it. And they're just going to give up A long for free. No real pressure out. We're going to finally see some engages. Profit does spot them, so now the call is coming in. They know what's up. Jet leading the return, though, on that lurk, though. Very interesting. They are going to move into A, and it looks like they're just going to use that Sage utility to try to buy them that space.
I like to play. That slow orb can be pretty crucial coming in here. They've got control of the site a little bit slow here, trying to set up the angle still, waiting on that plant from Sage. Gonna get the wall though. That's crucial, especially on a pistol round. Very hard to break that. See the knives coming out from Prophet. Now the util coming in. Turkey to pick there just to clear up some space. Jakey, nice peek to get that. 4v4 now. 2 players from mid Trafford, very low HP.
And we kind of said it. They've used their utility well to buy some spot. Now that they've got control here, they only take what they need. Vako and Hayasaka just going to come up big, and there's the rest of the teams from Forest Hill just coming in big, and they have the utility. Sage will trade one out, but it will find that counter there. And Forest Hill's this slow play, no smokes it's coming up big for them already in this initial take. I don't think Penn Trafford really expected that.
No, I like that playstyle. It was very, very kind of contact based, and once they knew that they had the site that they wanted, they cleared the space that they needed. It was full on sprint from there. I like the usage of the wall, trying to get things going. Now it looks like they're setting up for a C hit. I like that. Maybe forcing here. Actually, they're going to keep the ghost, so you don't have to force every round. A lot of teams prefer it, but you know, even on that win, if you want rifles next round, just keep your pistols. I think the idea there with the light armor is good, but actually it looks like 2 of them bought Spectres, so they're going more for a half force type of deal, I guess you could say.
Yep, the breach will send out. We'll catch several, but Vako will immediately trade out. And the turkey was in fact roasted, and that will leave C site open for this. Lear will come out to try to buy some space, and there's those smokes from the Jet. Kind of goes a little wide, doesn't really quite find too much, but the picks come in for Forest Hills. They have got control of C point, and they will trade this out. Vako coming up big on 3, looking for 4. Doesn't find it, but we'll pull out the Sheriff and try to just hold this angle with a little bit of HP left as the spike comes down.
There's not much you can do in this situation. Trying to get 1 to peek, but looks like Skip maybe gonna push that. Actually, not gonna play it safe, but look at Reyna. Reyna lurking in the garage. No idea that there's a player behind you. Peeked out, and Jakey will get it. And yeah, I kind of expected this from Forest Hills. The 1v1 type of just let's out aim them, completely rush at them, send our util down, and it clearly worked on that round. Now I want to know how it works with rifles though, because it's completely another story when you have a Spectre and you're aiming at someone with a classic, you know.
Yeah, now you're in a different game, and you kind of alluded to it sooner. You know, like when you pick a chamber, you have to trust you have good aim, right? Like you trust yourself and your ability to aim that. So I'm very curious to see what happens now that the smokes typically will be vital. Speaking of smokes, we haven't seen that many smokes come out from Hello actually on that Brimstone. So maybe neither team, is looking too much to value those smokes.
So the dart come in, they pick up roasted turkey on the back end there. It's gonna force some players to rotate. Actually, all the players rotating. Actually, no, it looks like the lurk there on the A side still gonna stay. Brim's still gonna lock that down, but very slow play from Forest Hills. We saw this round 1 with the pistols, and they're just trying to get anyone to peek right now, just to get a pick. And I like that now the Silver's drone comes out, and this is looking dangerous for roasted turkey.
It's suddenly still left alone. The rest of the rotation hasn't quite coming through. The Sage will come and back that up, but no wall really there. And this slow approach is, like you said, the slow approach has looked good from him. And now the call's made to rotate. They're going to try and take someone else. While I think there's still pressure there. Jet just staying behind to try to get some value from that as that falls. Will find one in Roasted Turkey, and Roasted Turkey just having a bad time over on C side, unfortunately. But meanwhile, the fun and the action is really hit over on A side as the rest of that utility comes out. Slow orb too. Try to buy that out. Hello is knocking, looking for more. Will find the Sage. Skip goes down early, but the rest of the team is there. That'll be a Lear. Just kind of blind fire, not really able to see much, and they have control of the site as this comes down. Oh, I'm sorry. Never mind. They haven't gotten spiked down, and never mind. The defenders absolutely just turned it right around.
There it is, Forest Hills. I was wondering when no smokes are going to punish you, that we saw Sage just completely freely walk out on the site. No one was holding the angle. It wasn't smoked off. Nothing you can do there. I feel like if you don't have a smoke in that situation, someone has to be holding that angle. And we saw Sage just run by everyone, get a pick, and that wonderful play from Forest Hills fell apart in a quick moment.
Absolutely right. I mean, they looked like Forest Hills looked like they had control of this. It looked like they were in a good position. But they didn't, like you said, their utility just wasn't quite there.
Well, I like that, the double up draft from Vic. I'm not able to get anything, but that's good intel to know no one's holding and pressuring that A main here. Prophet trying to take that 1v1 fight, but doesn't want to risk the knives. Jet daggers coming out. Now, this looks like a fast push, actually, from Forest Hills. Vaco looking at space, but not able to get that one. A nice shot from Prophet.
No, but like you said, now that these teams have to move it quick, right? When you don't have smokes, your kind of only thing you have is surprise, and they are going to unsurprisingly move themselves out. And Jakey Poo will find a Sage over there. she just kind of got caught out, and the rotate will come through, but the walls are closing in, and suddenly the rest of the team from Penn Trafford looking to bring this and close this out. Skip will find one though, and that's going to open it up for B. They're going to drop this wall, get the plant down, and try to force something out of this.
Your Sage wall is your next best thing to a smoke right now. I like the wall. This lets them back out. B is a very hard site to hold though, so I'm curious to see how Penn Trafford is going to counter this. We see Profit on the lurk. Maybe get the Sage. Yes, that's going to be huge there for this retake. And oh goodness, everyone from Forest Hills falling one by one. Is left to Jakey Poo. Gets the overkill though. Brimstone low. Oh, battle of the Reynas. There's a wall there though. Profit. Is he going to fake it? Oh, he's gonna fake it.
Gonna trigger it. He's looking for more. That's gonna be the leer. Will not get punished, but is gonna get it. And Jakey who comes up huge, coming with that 4 to keep it alive for Forest Hills.
Battle of the Reynas. I love that play. I love the leer play. Just jiggling out. He forces the jump. He forces them to think like, oh no, you know, I'm getting a shot. I got to get back on the bomb. But just enough of a bait and a nice shot too, right after, just to make the slight adjustment. That's a fantastic play. Jakey Poo coming in clutch for his team. It's a little awkward situation, these post plants, because, you know, no smokes, you have to utilize your space a lot more. You have to use your head a lot more. And Forest Hills right now, they're getting the job done.
They sure are, and both Reyna's going to be probably the leaders with these Empresses available on both sides, and they're just going to bring down the walls. You know, as history tells us, all walls must fall, but Profit is holding that and going to try to find some value with that Sheriff. Does get double peaked, and Quarter will bring it home. Great bait there from that team. Will heal up, and they are suddenly looking good on the side of Penn Trafford. Looking for more, though. They are going to aggressively push this A site. And again, that'll be a slow orb. Just try to pressure off that high ground. And Hello is just constantly lurking there. Does not find it, though. They're just going to get kind of outgunned. And Skip has to probably get some value out of this wall at this point, right? Like, the site is just so wide open. That'll be a leer followed by some Brimstone. There goes the wall. They're going to try to buy some space now.
Yeah, it looked like Skip was debating on throwing up the wall, decided to use it up the last second. It works good. Now they have so much intel as they have to break the wall. Skip getting one more. Stingray and Skip getting it. Reyna last alive in the Deagle. 1v1. Not going to be able to win that one against Jakey Poo. Yeah, I actually like the delayed wall approach simply because it set up time for the entire team of Penn Trafford to get close. They all knew that they were CT at that point because they were all shooting at the wall, breaking it down. So Forest Hills still utilizing their utility well, playing around each other well. And maybe Penn Trafford, I think at this point, maybe a few lurks. I'd like to see some more map control just to try to push outside, take a gamble and a risk, because it seems like they're giving up a lot of space and they're leaving their teammates in 1v5s on the side alone.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about this in the gap, but like, this is a huge map when you think about it. There's 3 sites to hold, and there's so much you have to really pressure. But Roasted Turkey, finally sick of getting pushed around, will find an early pick in that B lane. So, hey, now that the push is coming in at A, I agree with you. I want to see some aggression. Follow that up and just push backwards because the rotation's not quite coming through. That'll be the jet smokes. Those winds just coming out. We'll find it. We'll find one, but Profit will take it, take the dismiss, and try to get some more information. Hayasaka will trade them out in the end, though. But as the pressure just comes in, Penn Trafford is playing catch up here, just trying to buy some space. Lear to try to draw him out and draw some attention. Hayasaka will trade out and get one there, and Jakey Poo will find the second to bring it up. Sage committing in on that jet ultimate. I don't know. 1v2, you might want to save. Might wish you have saved that for later.
And you have the res option if you choose. Are they going to res the person in the window? Yep, Flip Stingray, the Sova coming back. Of all the people you don't want to have to deal with on post plan, it's Sova. They get the res 1v3. But, you know, hey, Sage, she's got her ultimate pops, got all 5 daggers. You can get some work going on with Jet. I've seen a lot of plays, a lot of highlight plays in these 1v3 post plan scenarios.
But they know where she is, though. They know where she's going, and at this point, you got to come up big. We'll miss those daggers, unfortunately, and Hayasaka will bring it home to close it out. And Forest Hill's going up 5-1. Just, they're looking good. They're looking strong this map.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't know how I feel about that last play on A site. You had a 2v2 situation, and you aggressively pushed out to A main, lost the 1v2, left your teammate in a very sticky situation with a Sage with a res available, gets the resurrection for the Sova. I think Trafford wishes they could play that one again in their head.
Yeah, but well, on the side of Penn Trafford, at least they have 4 other ultimates. You know, you've got some utilities there as we open this round, and that'll be an early smoke just to try to buy some space, buy some aggression. The C push is coming in from Forest Hills, so see if Sage can find some value. Beat a Lear. Has anybody checked the corners? No, they didn't. Oh, they finally checked that corners though. That could have been very tragic otherwise, but you know, all right, the push is live. We know what's going on. Quarter has them stuck, so if they can punish this, they're in a tough spot. Just that lurk. Oh, Hayasaka comes up with 1 though, and that leaves C-Site entirely open.
Oh, look at Vaco just lurking up through the midfield. Straight through B, no one there. Roasted Turkey stuck in a corner in garage. Oh, but wait. Oh, hello. Getting the timing on Vaco. Oh, he's waiting still. And he's going to get it. Nice play. Now, what was promising for Forest Hills suddenly left in a 3v2, 3v1. Prophet doing the work, trying to finish out the stage. Maybe for the clip for the play. No. Oh, Skip doesn't have that res, though. Still has the wall, could rotate.
Yep, is gonna be pushed out of that C lane. We'll get dinked. Does have the heal though, so they're still gonna try and take it. And Roasted Turkey will come up and clean it and bring home the turkey, as it were. So Penn Trafford showing some signs of life as we continue 5-2.
I think Prophet really was the differential maker there. We saw him push straight out of garage, I believe. I think it was garage. It could have been ace. I'm not sure. I didn't see exactly where he came out from, but we saw him rotate all the way to the C. The beginning of C, down the alleyway. So much map control given to him. I was able to get past the lurk of Vaco, I believe, who was going straight through B, and managed to clear out 3. So I like the utilization of space. I like trying to take over that map control and make those lurk plays, because now it leaves Forest Hills second guessing if they're going to get flanked every round or not.
The aggression, Sage trying to hold those angles, and the chamber ult will come out. Just try and buy some, well, we're going to get them picks early. We're just going to set up that utility, and we've committed already to A. That'll be the Sova dart coming out too. Not really finding anybody, everybody able to hide from it, so that may be some bad info, but the Brim Smokes will clear that up. Drone coming out, try to find a little more, does not find, and Sage will punish Jakey Poo. Suddenly trading up away from that judge, and now they're second guessing here about this A push.
Yeah, it's a nice early pick just to get some pressure relieved. Vaco lurking mid, not going to get him this time. Corner, nice awareness. Now you're left in a 5v3. Everyone has you pinned. The B control. Prophet, look at Prophet all the way on C. Roasted Turkey, a nice peek there. 5v2, chamber ult. Ooh, chamber ult though. I'd be careful peeking this. Yeah. I think Roasted Turkey knows this. He's just playing safe, playing patient, knows not to challenge this. Oh, maybe not. Maybe not.
Nope. Nope. And meanwhile, Flip Stingray will clean up Prophet on the other side. And what was the hero run? Looking a little tough here. Stingray, last remainer on the 1v3. Do they get spotted out? Will, unfortunately, just come up short to the Sage. And hey, great moments from both teams there. Penn Trafford coming up big with that W. They played that very well.
Yeah, now we see the lurking for Forest Hills. Vaco going to the mid is getting shut down. The initial peaks, the initial contact is getting shut down. Penn Trafford, they're sending Prophet on those early flanks, and he's getting huge map control, huge just positional awareness. Now Forest Hills, I think, you've got a step back or two. You kind of got punched in the nose on these plays. Now you've got to adapt. They realized, all right, you know, maybe this early aggression, this lurk plays isn't working. What do they do to change it up now, or are they just gonna keep sticking with it?
It looks like they are going to split up gang, and they are going to take their options. But again, not having any smokes doesn't really buy them too much to really like block off and prevent anything. They will use the little intel they have. Doesn't find anything with that Sova dart, and you know, I think they figured it out now. I think there's someone here, Vaco, just holding that angle. And speaking of holding, that's going to be a double swing. Sage will get out of there. M&A trying to hold down the C site alone, but will force out the heal and a Lear. We'll try and bait a little bit more of that. Just constantly, there's not really a way for them to try to make any progress forward though without smokes.
Well, look at this lurk from Vaco. Maybe gonna get the Brim, does so. Oh, hello, falls on the A side. This is gonna be a free A side. All they have to do is rotate now, but look at the aggression from Roasted Turkey. Can't get Jakey Poo though. Now 2v3 Forest Hills, they are spread out. Prophet trying to get this lurk. Sage does get res here. The lure coming out from Prophet. Now what was a 2v3 turns into a 3v2. Managed to get the last one. Now it's Jet left alone. Vaco at the B site.
Yep,
does
Spike.
Not have bomb.
No, Spike is down and it's in their control. So Vaco's just going to have to play this safe, try to get the value. And if Prophet doesn't know just barely turns away, but But Vaco knows what's up. Vaco spotted him. Waiting for the moment. Will get that pick, and now it's 2v1 suddenly. But now they should know where it's coming from. That garage push is going to be tough. Quarter holding on to that op. Going to try and ping it. Doesn't get there. Smoke will come out and dash in. Trying to buy for anything. They just need to play for time. Doesn't have the shots, though, and Quarter will clean it up with the classic.
Oh, I feel in that situation. You got to play, you get the dash out. It's like, wait a second, I got no bullets. Unfortunate there for Vaco, but still, Penn Trafford. It looked like it was leaning in the favor of Forest Hills, and then it swung right back to Penn Trafford, and then back to Forest Hills, and then back to Penn Trafford. It's crazy what a Sage Res could do for your team.
Absolutely. I mean, it's crazy what the economy is doing these teams too, because now Forest Hills is on an eco. They have some of the money, some of them could push, but do they really want to try and do that alone? I mean, meanwhile, there's still an op on the side of Penn Trafford, so this defense is looking incredibly good. They have the smokes, they have the op, they have so many tools in their pocket for this. That'll be an early Sova Dart just taken out of the way. And Vaco is going to commit that Jet Ultimate looking, is going to immediately get punished. And, well, it was a good effort made. And, well, now we're into a 5v3, 5v2 already with a spike down, and suddenly it's not coming up good for Forest Hills.
Maybe get the last one. Yeah, Sage, the aggression. And this is what I was concerned about. There comes a certain point where a team is rolling on defense, and you're trying to get these angles started, and just when you think you might have a little bit of hope, they pull out an op. And it gets an op on a clear alleyway with no smokes. It is so difficult to counter that. The Sova drone, you have to just waste so much util just to try to predict where that operator is. So I think these last 2 rounds, looking like they're heavily in the favor of Penn Trafford. I'm scared for Forest Hills on defense too.
I was gonna say, what happens to their defense now?
Right.
Oh man, this is going to be a tough, but Sage holding on to that judge, just going to try and play those close angles again. We've seen a lot of this today, and we've gotten some value, and that'll be a Sova Dart going a little bit of awry, and speaking of that, a few picks too. That will be the fault line coming out. We'll find some value. Roasted Turkey just getting the pick out there, and committing a few more in. We'll get this. Well, no, Skip will find the click with that Guardian, getting some value there. And suddenly, we're rotating into B site. We've got it there. That'll be Hunter's Fury just to kind of clear some space and try to deny a little bit of this push, force out some util. And the collapse onto B has hit, but they're still pushing. Skip will find a shot onto their opposing. Sage will trade it back, and suddenly we have knives out for everybody here as we tied up. Ooh.
Good pick from Hello. But wait, both players low HP. Vaco, nice shot. Sage left alone. Skip with a lurk. Well played. Look at the patience just from on defense there for Forest Hills. Or rather, on offense just to get around that. That Sage res coming in, getting the Sage resurrected, manages just enough to kill it this last round for Forest Hills. I think one more for them, they would very happily take a 7-5 here.
Yeah, oh yeah, 7-5 I think you're very happy with. And considering both of these teams are kind of middle of the pack right now going into week 3, this is the kind of the start where things can change it up and you can finally get some things in motion. Flip Stingray going to hold on to that Odin. The attack, no, okay, they're thinking. Vaco does have the op though, so they are looking. They want to take this duel down here, and we'll have to see what Quarter thinks of that, who is just going to kind of hang out, not going to play it. Now they've got control of the C lane. There's the peak. Oh, wasn't looking though. They've kind of spotted Quarter on that Sage out now, and that'll be some utility just to try to buy some space. Nothing really there. Not sure what that wall looks a little incomplete, but you know, what do I know? I'm not playing here.
I think Quarter was trying to get on the wall, wasn't able to do so, but wait a second, Roasted Turkey again. The aggression with the breach flash is such a useful character just to clear up some space. Now they have a lot of intel. They had one lurking B. Still 2 players on C. Everyone playing default on defense. No need to overcommit. Quarter, a very aggressive peek on the operator. No fear whatsoever, but still Vaco trying to get the pick. Good. Quarter, you're making my heart leave right now.
I would say, honestly, considering it's just the duel of operators down here, I respect it, though, and Vaco doesn't respect it, so that'll be a pick and Quarter suddenly falling. The rotations, meanwhile, come through, though, so A is looking good, and Sage will clean one up over there, and this push that, you know, you're suddenly out of utility, and you don't really have the ability to make this push come through. Stingray gonna look and get picked by a Hello, and suddenly 2v4 on this take, and they're getting closed in on. They're getting surrounded.
Now the A site got to get something going. Hello, the smoke. Hello with the read. Skip last alive, trying to get one. Actually does so. Has to get the bomb plant down. Oh, both players coming from A main. There's not much you can do. You have to get the bomb down.
No.
Oh, wait a second. Oh, it doesn't matter, stun or not. Got a one tap you regardless. What a
It's
retake.
fine. Look, we do what we have to for success, right? Like, it doesn't matter if we accidentally stun our own teammates. Like, who can say we haven't accidentally flashed our teammates or ourselves in this game, right?
Oh, most definitely,
Switching
especially as
sides.
breach. I mean, come on, almost impossible to not flash your teammate at some point during the game.
Oh no, one of my favorite things as we flip this half, I'll be brief about this. One of my favorite compilations was a nice Redditor made a compilation of self flashes called "I Flash Myself: The Story of Phoenix," and it's just a constant wave of Phoenix flashing himself and missing those corner throws. But yeah, I mean, but no Phoenix is here. The only Phoenix is going to be the winner. It's tied going into this half. We are actually at the 6-6.
This is really what I wanted to see. How Forest Hills can play defense without smokes, without cutting off those alleyways, those team plays. This really comes down to, yet again, gunplay. How confident you are in your aiming skills. You see, oh goodness, Hayasaki with a chamber trying to get something going with that very, very lovely pistol of his.
Very cheeky play, but there's this high ground. But they haven't looked up yet. They didn't really get it. Unfortunately, Bako with a great mind play didn't quite finish it out. But Hayasaka is holding that high ground, looking for more. They know the slow's out, and now that they're surrounded, the rest of the rotation will come in for Forest Hills. So they're kind of committed to this. The smokes are out, but will find Hello looking. And now that the rotate's coming through, oh no, they pass each other without even seeing. Oh no. Oh no! Wait! Oh, finally, Prophet sees it. There it is. Oh goodness.
The joys of Valor timing.
Oh goodness, Chamber will get on out of there, and they feel they can push this, but with not much on the play, they're gonna get the spike down for both of these duelists. And Slur, can they beat this out? Chamber does look, and the spike's down 2-2.
Oh, the Sova dart. No one shot the dart though. It's still picking him up. Someone's got to shoot the dart, but Stingray unable to capitalize. Prophet gets the trade. 1v1 Chamber to look at him. Oh, he's not looking at the right direction. That 50-50, that gamble. Gonna
Caught him lacking.
Caught him lacking indeed. What a play though from Prophet. A little weave, little kick around the side. Perfect timing. The timing though, goodness gracious.
The timing's perfect. Oh my god. I thought we were just gonna see the full rotate come through, and oh goodness. Like I genuinely thought we were just gonna see that pass, and I was going to remember that in my nightmares. But here we are, 7-6. It's still anybody's game. They're gonna stack up onto C here, and rifles for the side of Penn Trafford. They're feeling confident in themselves, but not to be outdone. Forest Hill's gonna try and meet them there.
Missing a little bit of a counter buy here, trying to get the Marshall. Oh, but Stingray cheated out so close to throw that dart, but peeked out way too much. The breach time comes in. It's gonna eliminate the usefulness of that Marshall. Now a 5v3. They've got sight control. Skip looking to get something. Oh, over the wall. Wait a second. This is good. But Skip, no, gotta connect. Gets the last one to go though, and he's still not somehow dead. He's lying. Oh, okay, no, Stage gets him.
Nah, the point is surely in control, and Penn Trafford is just the lurking Jakey Poo, trying to just see what you can get with you, Jake. We believe in you, but there is a Marshall down there. Spikes down has realized it is. They might just try to hold. Again, you don't really need to save the ghost, but you might just try to get out and get an exit pick as long as they can. But we'll get spotted out. There it is. Sage going to clean that up for us. And Penn Trafford, this attack looking incredibly good. It's incredible what happens when you just simply have a controller.
And I love how they're distributing their util. They're timing it very well. I think that was kind of the difference between Forest Hills. When you don't have smokes to kind of go along with what you're using, like a breach flash or a Sova drone, you can't really time them together very well. You just kind of have to dump it all out. And I think Penn Trafford on their side, they're waiting, they're patient, they're timing it out perfectly, counteracting with the smokes that they're having. And that's really the difference maker here. That's what I was concerned about for Forest Hills on defense. And right now, they have yet to find a way to combat it.
They're going to keep trying. They're going to run at A and try to take that pressure out. The Sage Wall looking to set up long, and that'll be Skip. Just going to get that orb, but does see them coming. We'll take the hide there, and cheeky plays abound. They're going to hide. We'll see if they get spotted. Nothing yet. Nope. Up. No. Gets both. Oh, the great play from Skip, just coming in, using that architecture very well. Bako going to try and get that headshot. Gets pierced through. He's traded. We'll double peek that, and suddenly this Forest Hills defense looks unstoppable.
I love that play from Skip. It's the tiniest little angle, the tiniest cubby. No one checked it because, like, nah, they're not back there. Right? Wrong. Gets the 2 kills. I feel like you definitely still need to check that, but I don't blame them because it did look like there could be a Sage back there.
Yeah, I mean that's just too aggressive, right? Like that's crazy. That's madness to try and hide in that spot. But hey, you know, they were mad and it worked out for them. They were rewarded with a 2K. So the Forest Hills, they're choosing brain here, right? They're choosing brain and aim as opposed to standard tactics, and you gotta respect them for it.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes the most obvious play, the most obvious decisions, the most obvious team comps, maybe they're obvious for a reason, but they don't always have to be the one you go with. And I think it's sometimes just punish them, but sometimes it's really helped them. So clearly they've got the strat going on. Vaco maybe challenging Turkey, but not able to get that one. Now Forest Hills, that gunplay not coming into favor of them. Look at Prophet go to another one.
Again, and we'll clean that up, but it's still 5v3 going into this, and the Sova now stepping up to challenge Flip Stingray, trying to challenge Prophet, just going to continue to clean this up, and suddenly we are once again back and forth. Spike will go down on B, but it's is Chamber coming up big here? I mean,
with a Marshall retaking B, you do have your pistol, but I don't know.
No, a little too slow.
Not at all.
A little too slow. You had it, you lined it up, it was there, everything looked good, but I mean that was a rough round, but Penn Trafford again just finds it. They just find the gunplay, they find the win, and you know, call it what you will, but it's still back and forth. Ultimates on both sides. They have that resurrection on the side of Forest Hill, so that's gonna be very important. But Prophet, who's been coming up huge, 17 and 11, has the Empress now, so that could be a round winner on its own.
Yeah, I'd like to see maybe that Empress come out this round, especially since Forest Hills has rifles again. We've been seeing him create a lot of space, a lot of work for his team. 9-7 though. Many teams would consider this a very heavily offensive-sided map just for the simple fact that there are 3 bomb sites, but a good defense can be a great counter to a great offense. So we see them trying to work the B side. I have yet to see this really from either team. Turkey though gets that pick on Jakey Poo rather, sorry.
The walls will come up, and Skip is up on the high ground, has been found out though, but will not get punished. There's 2, and the smoke's coming in looking for the 3rd. That'll be the Brim. That'll be the Brim coming out too. We'll finally get punished, and Penn Trafford will finally get spiked down on this 3v1.
Spike planted.
Just the lone Vaco, the lone Jet, but HP in a dream. Unfortunately, that goes a little bit short, but not really able to take too much. Might just save this and get out of dodge. You know, do you really commit? We'll find one. We'll get traded, trying to fire and spray through. Not really finding too much, and wall is starting to crumble. So now that there's sightlines open, we'll find it. Vaco, the hero play coming out, will use the smoke, dash through. Suddenly has vision, baits it. Looking, Brimstone. No, Vaco, the hero from Forest Hills, coming up huge for the defuse. 8 HP in a dream.
Vaco, my goodness. Save the gun? I think not. Decides to take on the 1v3, manages to play it so well, and the last second hesitation from Turkey, not sure whether or not to pop the ultimate, manages to cost him so dearly. Vaco, nice tap on the bomb, tries to force out the ult, didn't even have to get the ult down, gets the 1v3, highlight of this game so far.
Yeah, you can check that one next week. That's definitely going in the top 5, I have to imagine. But, you know, speaking of top 5, there's not quite 5 ultimates for the side of Penn Trafford. We got 4 and 3 for Forest Hills, so a lot of utility, and I see someone coming up short on the side of Forest Hills for the gun, so looks like it's going to be some jet knives coming down, as that's early Brimstone utility coming down also. Hayasaka looking, gonna find one, and there will be roasted turkey. Unfortunately, the sacrificial turkey in this case, to see what is going on for Hayasaka. Just trying to buy some space. The Reyna is now in that line, so all it's gonna take is a double peek to maybe get him out. Nope, they're gonna try and get the Reyna out of there, and they're gonna reevaluate their life choices right now.
I don't think I want to re-challenge that Chamber ultimate C long. That's a dangerous gun, but look at the aggression. No fear whatsoever. Manages to take 2 out. Now 2v4.
Quarter responds. Ooh,
Quarter.
What a great play. We'll get the res, and Sage is back in the play. So that'll be M&A back in, and Penn Trafford suddenly making this a fair game. We'll try to get the spike down onto B, it looks like, but we'll get traded out immediately. But Hayasaka just going to trade this, and Blind can't really find the value, but the picks don't come in. Prophet finally closing it out. Spike's still not down, though, and 2v1 on this B site.
A lot of options. Stingray has no recon bolt, and smart play to go to the A site to plant. I like that. It's going to leave Stingray very awkward, trying to check the corners, but there's so many places that they could be right now.
All it takes is one wrong look, and looking in that corner does get picked. Prophet are already there lying in wait, and you know, short of taking the long way around, there's no way to avoid that.
Nah, Stingray, I've been there. You have to check pretty much every corner, but you want to semi-check it because you're trying to get, you know, you don't want to.
Yeah, you can't move. Yeah.
There's nothing you can really do. So he saw him, but he really didn't see him at the end of the day. Still, that Sage res coming in clutch here, and now though we yet to see 4 stills use their resurrection. We've got the jet daggers as well, and 4 ultimates though for Penn Trafford. I've yet to see them really try to utilize the breach ultimate to take a site. The rolling thunder maybe getting used here on the A side. I'd like to see it.
They may just save it for like a recontest, right? Like just give up the site and just play the retake on it because it's such an aggressive ult. And speaking of aggressive, Vaco is going to go ahead and take this aggressive angle. They haven't quite spotted him out yet, but several are down there, and that'll be the cue for Vaco to try to get out of there. The Brimstone ult will come down. Orbital Laser does not find anybody, but does buy them some space. There is the Breach ultimate as well. They're throwing everything that they have at this. Everything must go. And they've got site control, but with that, with the down, they still haven't gotten Spike down. They're just not quite comfortable making this pick yet. There it is. Spike will go down, and it's a 5v3 on this game.
Oh, nice shot there from High. It's like a 4v2 though. Not a lot of options here. That ultimate though didn't really hit anyone on the site, but it still works out in the end. Now they've just got to play time, and so much util down right now. Oh, look at this. The timing here, possibly gonna get him out. Oh, hello, trying to look at the wall, but he managed to get around the slight adjustment. 4v1, Stingray, you're gonna get wall banged here. He's trying to crouch out the bullets, but there's nowhere for you to go.
Yeah, unfortunately, just stuck in that high ground, and Penn Trafford trying to close this out. And you know, do you think if you're Forest Hills, you're probably regretting not having the smokes here? I mean, it could be a simple possible thing is just controller player wasn't available, but like, you think you're regretting that now at this point?
I think their biggest problem, which would cause them to regret not picking it, is the retakes. Every time that they have to peek out of a site, there are so many angles that they have to guess where they're getting held. They can't shut them down. They can't force a different angle, and I think that's been the key, is just the post plant. Being able to play around the bomb, the spike being hunted down, has just not been in their favor because they can't shut down those angles. A Sage wall can only go so far.
Yeah, and speaking of going so far, that'll be quite a bit of utility coming in as they get pretty good control of this garage. Hunter's Fury will come out also to try to buy some space, but Penn Trafford is absolutely just finding kills one after the other and is just the lone jet on the Forest Hills alive. Vaco has to come up, you know, clutch the 1v3. Now here comes the bigger play. Can they clutch the 1v5? But never mind. Has been spotted out by Prophet, and that is just flawless.
Yeah, it was a perfect play for Penn Trafford. Usage of the util great, channeling into the garage, just forcing them into awkward positions, spamming the breach flashes. It's so hard to play against. I mean, Breach is one of those characters that, like Sky, you know, you see a bird come in, you can turn it, but Breach's flash is so quick that a blink of an eye and you're already blind. So one of those very difficult edges to play against. And not really finding a counter to it.
Yeah, and not when you see a lot of, right, too. So a lot of teams don't necessarily have the counterplay to a Breach. You know, you're used to seeing Soba. Soba's almost a must pick at these points. You know, when you think of initiators, you don't see a lot of Breach or KO at that point. But there will be some amount of breaching happening as B site is now wide open thanks to Jakey-Poo falling, and there's the call. They think they have control, and there's the wall up, and Skip gonna try to get an angle, try to pressure out something as they know. Oh, they baited it. They baited that over there, and Flip Stingray on that flank has suddenly gotten control of B site, but the rotation's coming through on C, and let's see how long before they take to figure it out. Sage is lurking, trying to find anybody, looking the wrong corner, but I think they've figured it out here. They're going to double swing this, try to push there. The Chamber will come in, get punished. The second one, Soba, Sage will clean up second, and now suddenly Penn Trafford looking to bring home the match.
4v1, Vaco, channel in your inner tins. Let's see it. You got the Vandal. You're on jet. You got full utility. There's one.
It's the start of a big thing. We'll just smoke out that area in case, try to buy them some time. But the space is being taken. Penn Trafford is lurking. They know what's up, and they are still got eyes on this bomb. Vaco doesn't know quite enough of anything to really make what to do. And hello. It will get punished for it. Spike is down. We'll bait that out, and that will be the breach to clean that up, and Prophet will bring it home. Penn Trafford taking home game 2 today, 13-8, a much closer game than we're used to seeing here.
Yeah, I love that post plant play. Vaco did pretty much everything in his power to clear up space to get the kills, but time was not in your favor. You have a breach left alive post plant. He's got the trimmer. There's just not much you can do in that situation. Valiant effort. And see the scoreboard. Vaco clearly the leader for 4 kills right now. Skip right behind him. And Prophet and Sage making their way for Ben Trafford.
These teams were pretty even, all things considered. Really, I mean, there's a joke somewhere about how they have basically the same colors in this. I don't know it, but like they were pretty evenly matched, all things considered. This was a fairly close game. So these two teams are going to probably be vying for this middle to high end of the spot, I think, going forward as we go into the next week.
I think that was a fantastic game. Both teams pretty evenly matched. I think Forest Hills, that difference maker was just not having those smokes. At the end, it really came to punish them. But then Trevor, I think they played a great game. They really, really know how to play around each other. They know how to play with each other, the utility usage. So it was a fantastic game from both teams. But ultimately, Penn Trafford was the victor of the day.
Well, we've got one more in the books, and we've got one more to come. So hang with us. We're going to take a quick break, and we've got one more game before we say goodbye today. Welcome back, everyone, to the Esports Company. It's week 3. It's Valorant. It's the last game of the day. We've got the Bishop Carroll Huskies versus the Greater Johnstown Trojans, and it's a tale of two stories, kind of, as it were, right here. Greater Johnstown up 2-0, leading the pack, and Bishop Carroll, unfortunately, the opposite end. They're 0-2. They've had a rough start, though.
Yeah, but I mean, that happens a lot. Early season, not necessarily that they're a bad team. They've played good teams. They've played very good teams. So I think at the beginning of the season, you have some kinks to work out regardless as a team. So, don't look at their record and think this team is not that good. Look at their record and say they're improving. They're trying to work together. And today, you're going up against the number 1 seed. So I think if you look at that, this is your chance to prove it.
Yeah, no better way to improve.
No better way to improve.
But let's take a look at who we got over on the Huskies. They are fielding Italian Schemo, Shaq, Lukey, Skagood, and Boy Hockey God. We've seen a lot of these players. This is a pretty standard team. No subs today, so they're looking pretty good.
And number 2 for Greater Johnstown Trojans, we've got Blaze, Tuaveru, Amp, Sacrificed, and Baba coming in. So clearly these teams are ready to go. Greater Johnstown has banned Ascent, and Bishop Carroll on the other side decided to pick Breeze.
If you have not seen it, go watch that VOD. It is definitely a VOD of Valorant that I think I would show to somebody. I don't know who, but we've saw it there. We've seen it a couple times, but Breeze is a challenging map, right? Like, it's not everybody's favorite map, but if you've got the aim, you can clean up very well here.
Yeah, a very wide open map, I guess you could say. A lot of times where it is purely gun based on your 1v1 situation. There's some times where you can get built out based on the map, but it's just very 1v1 based. Now, this map is one that I'm interested to see who's going to pick who, because Viper was really the main type of forefront for a long time, and Viper recently kind of got hit with that big nerf when they were trying to make Omen and Brimstone back on the meta. But Blaze, looks like Blaze is going to pick Viper anyways.
Shock has instantly locked that Neon. I know Shock has been showing a lot of Neon, and I think that's an interesting pick here for this, because there's a lot of different things she can enable, but not what I would have picked. They're taking the double initiator, which I do like here. I like the double initiator. You have so much space to play, and I think that's a great pick.
Yeah, and of course, I had the most played map that I think I've seen Neon on is Breeze, just because when you have her ultimate, it is so wide open that you could just hold left click and run, hold left click run, hold left click run. So I don't dislike it. As the only duelist, I'm a little bit wary to see how it gets played along, but you have Sky on your team, and Sky is generally, when you don't run a 2 duelist comp, Sky is your next best thing.
Yeah, I mean, it's so much free information. You have more flashes. Sky is kind of that mix of like a hybrid of like a duelist in some ways, where you have those flashes, you have that initiation ability, and you have that, and of course the Brimstone Italian Schemo. The Chambers also coming out here too. Like, again, speaks to, I think, the size of the map, right?
Right. And Chambers Ultimate too, we see Amp actually last second switching over to pick Chambers. So I think Chambers Ultimate is the key. When you don't have a Jet, but with Amp and Sacrifice, Jet and Chamber, that's double op. Unfortunately, Baba did not.
Yeah, did not pick in time. We're going to send it back to the lobby.
We're going to send it back to the lobby, but...
Look, this is hard, right? Like, we're going to say... Like, we can sit here and postulate about all this, but, like, this is hard when you have to stare at this and go, well, we're on Breeze. What do we really value here, especially with all those changes coming in, right? Like, the last patch shook up a lot of things.
Right. It's kind of a 50-50 guess, I guess you could say, on which agent is going to really be the key here, which team is going to run the agent better. But at the end of the day, no matter what agent you're picking, it comes down to how well you utilize what you're given and how well you combat it with your team. If you pick a Viper, if you pick a Chamber, it doesn't matter if you're not performing well with your team. So really, we could talk all day about the possibilities about who picks who, but it comes down to your team and your individual performance.
Yeah, I mean, and this kind of speaks to the previous game, right? Like, we saw a team absolutely just go full no smokes, and they fared pretty well, all things considered. That was what they felt they were confident in. And, they didn't take home the victory, but they looked really good on it. So, yeah, the comfort really speaks to a lot more, especially in these kinds of more competitive and, like, team-oriented lobbies, right?
And a lot of players too, they are, I wouldn't say one tricks when it comes to agents, but they excel and they perform on one agent regardless on how well that agent is in the meta right now. So if you're dropping 20 kills on Chamber, 20 kills on Viper, even if they're nerfed, go for it. You know, it doesn't matter at the end of the day. What you're playing is what you're going to be picking, but I don't think their team comp's going to change. We see here everyone's going back to boy hockey, going to lock in the sky. We've got Viper, we've got a Sage come out from Baba. Dude, do we see a lot of Sage on Breeze?
Not really. You can get, like you said, we've talked about how open this is. Like, where do you exactly wall off? You have a couple choke points that you can kind of block this kind of tunnel by A site, but there's really not like too much you can do with it. Typically, you kind of just like force the Sage over to B site, you block that off, and it buys you time. But the double sentinel I do like. I think there's something to be had for it, but I'm also just not sure, and I need to double back to something here. Are you telling me that my Jets in all my ranked games could have played anything else, and they simply don't know how to play anything besides Jet?
Yeah, unfortunately, I have been through all of the ranks of Valorant except Radiant. I am not good enough to hit that. And from all of my experience, there are a lot of players that are a one-trick wonder, and 90% of those players are Jet players.
They're just Jet players. Well, I guess at least I've learned something today, but well, let's learn about what these teams are bringing today, because like we said, this is a tough matchup. Greater Johnstown is at the top of the board and Bishop Carroll towards the bottom, but let's see if Breeze is going to be the great equalizer here as we open this up.
And maybe too, to go along with that Sage, maybe they're doing it for the purpose of aggression. Maybe they just want to utilize that res and just open up a lot more space given to them. Sage is great for that aspect no matter what map you're playing on, so maybe that's the game plan here, is that it looks like they're heavily favoring towards a B push here.
Yep, and they will immediately throw up that smoke and get into sight, and they have gotten control of the half they needed. Lukey just making that first contact will get out of dodge and reset themselves, but Spike is down, and now it's clean. That was a very clean execute.
Post plant though, Lukey gets 2 on the end.
2, 3. Shaq coming up huge, and suddenly the Greater Johnstown's not looking as good. Shaq going to take this, just not really able to break through the wall. That utility is still there, but they know where he is, so he's going to have to take a quick rotate and maybe see if he can get a pick. And does Blaze see him coming? Oh, a little too quick, but does manage to click the head there. So a quick and efficient takedown from Greater Johnstown.
Yep, Blaze took a little bit of time there on the reaction, but a nice little one tap to the head there to get on the counter. But that execution to take that site was near picture perfect. The wall went down, everyone went on site, no one got picked off, no real major threat on the damage, and the post plant was pretty executed well. We saw a lot of single trade-offs, but it wasn't enough to really, I think, throw off the game plan of Greater Johnstown. It looked like that was their start from the beginning. Now, though, on the Force, a lot of Spectres coming out with a Marshall. I think the Marshall is what I'm going to be looking at the most, just for the simple fact of how big the map is.
Oh, yeah. Sacrificed is going to hold that angle along there. They're kind of leaving this mid vulnerable, though, leaving just free real estate. For the side of Greater Johnstown, they are going to use that free real estate. Neon is going to push up with a long way around on the A site, but now the split push is kind of figuring it out, and now there's comms of clear A, so here it comes. That will be first contact with Silva. Unfortunately, Skago is now Ska gone, but Zivaru has control of this, and the rest of they kind of are looking. They're still not sure. A is open, but they're not quite set up to take it, and now that the calls have kind of come in, they'll take it. Zivaru cleaning up a second, a third, looking for more. Will find 4, absolutely on fire. Looking so big on this arena, and the last one, Shaq, this neon flank, trying to find some amount of value. Oh, does manage to find the Sage, knife out, unfortunately. We'll put the spike down, but 1v5 is a big ask from Shaq.
One of those moments where everyone checked every angle except the flank. Sage thought it was completely fine. Zavero will get the ace with the Phantom. Not a lot you can do there if you're Bishop Carroll. Arena with the Phantom on a forced round.
On your forced round, yeah.
You might as well accept defeat at that point. Not a lot you can do. Bishop Carroll had a few good moments, but like I said, it's a forced round. You have to kind of take your gains and your losses as they come to you. That's a loss. Move on to the second round. And still, we see it looks like they're leaning towards 3 on B with not a lot of mid presence. I'm curious to see what their game plan is behind this.
Yeah, they're giving up that mid, and especially with Zivaru having this Empress available, it's just going to be very easy for Zivaru to make the space themselves and just go in and get value. As we just saw from that ace, they can do it. That'll be the Viper ult and some gadgets down, so Chamber's already been spotted out. There's the Sloak field coming out. Zivaru just trying to buy that angle. And again, this very clean plant coming from the side of Greater Johnstown.
Not a lot lot of early aggression for Bishop Carroll. Oh goodness, look at the flick from Zavira. 3 quick players just gone for Bishop Carroll in the blink of an eye. The execution there. All the players for Bishop Carroll, the last 2 alive, rotating on the far end.
There's the double swing. Skago going to get out of there. Holding onto the Ares. Doesn't really have too much. And Shaq's getting spotted as well. Will commit in and will get picked, unfortunately, before anything can get done there. Last one, Skago will hold out, but will eventually fall. And Greater Johnstown going up 3-0. Are we sure Greater Johnstown didn't pick Breeze?
The execution right now and the way they're just performing, you would think, because they are looking solid right now in their approach. Their entire plan has just been run at them with the guns, throw the walls down. The util has been perfect, and I think maybe Bishop Carroll, it's just throw them off guard. The just pure aggression, how fast they're doing it, maybe set them back a little bit. So maybe now on the defensive side of things, maybe a quick early peek, just get some info at least. You don't have to commit to it if you're not comfortable doing it. But look at this, only 1 player on A.
I mean, you have double initiator. That's so much information you can gather, and that A push is going to come quick and effectively. They've gotten control over everything. Blaze just setting up and controlling that too very effectively. They're already on. They're already in control here. Zivaru does find Shaq through the box there, and meanwhile, Blaze will pair that up with another one. They're already just so in control of this.
Oh, the Sky though manages to run through the snake pit there of Blaze. Nice pick for them just to get a little bit of momentum here. The op though, they already have an operator in round 3. That can be minted and frustrating to play against as he gets 1.
Yeah, and not much left. Just the Sky. It's your boy Hockey will get caught out there. And boy Hockey God unfortunately is gonna see their way out. But Greater Johnstown looking like a tour de force over here in the islands of Breeze.
Yeah, they are doing everything that they need to be doing right now. There's no reason to change their playstyle, no reason to change their game plan because everything is working. At this point, Bishop Carroll, they are on a buy round, a little bit of an awkward buy round. 1 buying a Stinger, 1 buying a Spectre, 2 buying a Spectre rather, sorry. But still, they're doing this 3B, 2A, 1 kind of leaning close to halls, but it's just so much space given to Greater Johnstown. I'd like to see a little bit of a change here.
Yeah, I don't like something has to give, right? You're down to 0-4, your economy's in a rough spot, and I mean, at what point do you really, what time do you eventually give that up and make something here? But speaking of that, there's trades on both sides, but the plant's already down, and A was just basically free real estate. So Bishop Carroll, the Huskies got to do something here. The rotate's going to come through eventually, but look at how much space they just control of Breeze right now.
The very late rotate on the back end. Everyone coming in through spawn. The map control right now for Greater Johnstown is perfect. They just have to continue this post plant. The Viper Cloud coming out. Not a lot you can do here. The op holding every single angle. Time is ticking down. Looks like it's going to be a 5-0 here coming approaching. Well, that's a whiff though, but Blaze there for the cleanup. Hockey God gets 1, but they have no time. They're going to have to save this.
No, it's probably the best you can ask for at this point, and maybe you'll get lucky and take some of the opposition out with you, and kind of all you can really ask for. Amp will fall with that, and I mean, if nothing else for Bishop Carroll, that's at least a good sign that you can, you've taken some guns out of hands, even if their economy's in a good spot. You've taken some money out of their hands, so it's better than nothing, as you are unfortunately down 0-5.
Hopefully the small steps here for Bishop Carroll can get them something going. Unfortunately, Greater Johnstown is on the favorable side of economy right now, so that gun loss is going to be easily refurnished by one of the teammates that I'm assuming that is over 7,000 credits right now.
Somebody.
But still, I mean, at this point, we see Sky now. Boy Hockey God playing in the mid here. The only player with a rifle, though. And this is just looks like it's going to be another hard B take from Johnstown.
Yeah, but Lukey willing to commit that chamber ultimate, and again, this flawless execution, a little shaky on that shot, just doesn't quite catch up, and will get punished for it. So Italian Schemo just going to try and buy some space, and again, they've just gotten in, they've gotten this plants down for free, not even any real contest. Oh, that's a shot from Amp holding that long. That will be a Hawk coming out, try to find somebody. Will get pushed though. Boy Hockey God does see eventually they're getting pushed, and Sacrifice will clean that up instead. But with 2v5 on this take, it's not looking too good for the Huskies.
Yeah, Blaze playing an exit here, trying to get 1. All the timing there. You can't ask for it to be much worse than that. unfortunately there. Now Chicago last play, but the Aries are gonna get one. Gets Baba on the end.
Oh no, the
Can't reload fast enough though. The Aries, the only downfall. Well, not the only downfall, but it's a big clunky gun. Can't really reload it that fast.
No, but that's a common trait I think a lot of us do in especially in lower ranks. I'm guilty of it. We make a kill, we immediately press reload, thinking we're safe to do so. But you gotta pay attention to those things. Sometimes you just can't do it.
Now here, Bishop Carroll. You've got Sova on the B side. Brimstone looks like he's gonna go over there. Sky going back to the mid. So we got 2A, 2B, 1 mid. And unfortunately, Greater Johnstown, they have just read every single play of Bishop Carroll. They have predicted every single movement. And I like the change up from Bishop Carroll. It's just the execution has got to be here now. As Lukey, oh, this is dangerous. These are such an awkward spot.
They're checking those corners, and again the plant is down for basically 3. But there is that beam. There's that neon beam we were talking about. Looking for a second, will get another one. Shaq coming up huge for 3. As unfortunately his reign will be put to the end. But hey, that's some value from Shaq, and will tie it up as a 2-2 on this retake.
The operator, they're both peeking long angles here. It's so dangerous. Sacrifice, not gonna be able to clear the recon bolt though, so maybe, just maybe, something going here. The Stinger with a gun. Oh, 2v1. Sacrifice only has an op. He's just gonna back off. This is smart.
Yep, they have to pressure this though. They're running out of time, and the gun's not necessarily in favor for either side, so they need to do something here. They bought enough time. Greater Johnstown will get the W. Willing even to commit the knives into it. No, will clean it up. Sacrifice will clutch that out. Will they get out in time though? Barely do. Ooh, Greater Johnstown barely squeaking that one out. Trying to go for the flawless here.
Yeah, Sacrifice making that last second decision whether or not to pop the daggers, decided to do so and worked out well in his favor. Time was ticking down, had to clear the Brimstone, did so, managed to get Chicago as well. 22 HP. Can't really ask for a better finish than that. A little bit disheartening if you're Bishop Carroll, because you really needed that defensive win just to get something going, a moral boost, anything right now you could really use in your favor.
Yeah, we kind of alluded to this, but like Bishop Carroll's had a tough start, and that's both leaders out trying to clear them space. Bishop Carroll's had a tough start, and that will be the Brimstone ultimate coming in, not finding anybody, but the plant will get down, and Italian Schemo trying their best, will not unfortunately find anything. Hockey God will come up with 1, but plant's down, and there's not much for the remaining initiators here.
Will pick up
Jet
with the off. Maybe a pick, but
no, they're going to commit the Hunter's Fury regardless, and is unfortunately picked immediately. Probably going to want that back. Bishop Carroll kind of panicking there for a moment, but I mean, can you blame them? They've had such a rough start to this season, and to come up against 3 of the arguably top teams in your first 3 weeks is a pretty tough place to be.
And unfortunately, it's one of those moments where everything is not going your way. You're hoping for just a light at the end of the tunnel. Skygo popped the Sova ult, maybe hoping to get 1 or 2 along the road with him, but unable to do so. Now it's 8-0 here for Greater Johnstown. At the rate they're going, we might see a 12-0 half approach us.
Yeah, it wouldn't be the first we've seen here, and double Odin. We really are looking to put some stopping power, and I respect that decision. Does find some value. Lukey absolutely putting in some work, and that's exactly what you want that Odin for. Zibaru will get brought back to life. Just free firing in there. I think that's the right play, and they're cross-firing these Odins very well. That a good change of pace and a good strategy from them, but we'll get caught out eventually, and that will be one of them down. Lukey finally cleaning up. We'll get 3. The rest of the team has rotated, but will eventually get picked and traded back out. 1v2. Spike isn't down, though, so there's still a chance for Boy Hockey God to come in big.
Ray's got to play patient, though. You got util. You got 1 more flash of dog, but until that bomb goes down, you're kind of limited to your choices, especially with that operator from Sacrificed. Now it looks like they're going to get this plant down. He's actually going to leave the plant for Chamber. I like this idea. He still gets to hold the angle with the op. And looks like they're going to get this plant down. Now, Boy Hockey left with 1 less option to play around.
Yep, but now the time is running out, and they've got 2 of the sight lines covered. So let's see how he wants to approach this. Some utility left on both sides, but has dropped to the low ground. Does get spotted. I think they figured it out, so now it's just going to figure out how to do that. That will be the Hawk Flash. Will find out on the Jet. Missed the shot, though. Clearing this up. 2v1 still there. No walls in place. And Sacrifice with the pistol will bring it home, bringing it to 9-0 for the side of the Greater Johnstown Trojans.
Well, that's how you know a player's confident in the aim. When you miss the op shot you take out your ghost and you challenge a vandal. That's you know you're feeling yourself at that point.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I surely would not have thought about that, but yeah. You know, I will say the innovation from Bishop Carroll for these strats is like a good sign though, right? Because it takes a weird choice to look at that double load and play and be like, all right, we think they're going to rush this. We think we can understand what they're going to do, and to try to put that pressure out there is commendable. And again, they're just going to try and do the same thing. Lukey will get out, they'll give up that space, and they've acknowledged the B push incoming. So now that they've slowed this up a little bit, they've kind of getting control of the game here.
Well, let's see the underpass from Viper here. Oh goodness, look at the play. No one mid. Blaze is gonna take out 2. Shaq getting 1 at the mid, but it doesn't matter. They can't stop Blaze. That's 3 for the road. Looking for the 4K. He's gonna get it and gets the last one. Not gonna be able to get the ace for Blaze, but just look. He walked up mid for so long, uncontested. That's an issue.
Yeah, there has to be. I know your guns may not be in a good spot, but you gotta contest. You've got to contest mid. It's so valuable when you talk about like what are the basics, and maybe this is a step above the basics, but when we talk about space control, it's so important to just know things and to have control of the space. And that's what Greater Johnstown has just done. They've just controlled the space. They've walked in free of charge, right?
Well, most definitely. We see every attempt that they've had has been successful +1. Oh, nice shot there from Lukey though on the window peak. Maybe, just maybe, this is the start for them that they need. They're going to run through the smoke, though. No fear, Greater Johnstown. Oh, but the miss from Lukey.
Miss is now surrounded and will get punished for it and traded out. And the picks just start falling the way of Greater Johnstown. Spike suddenly getting down, and that will be at least spotted out. That's some information from the Sobadar. And finally, we see some contest in the mid, but unfortunately not enough to just picked. And that will be the Neon just lurking, trying to get some value on this. Shaq coming in there, not quite spotted out. Will eventually find Blaze, though. Just going to rotate and get out. And it might be a little too late to get any real value on this.
Yeah, it's not a lot. You pretty much just have to full send, try to
no.
Mid Neon running amp, nice peek, nice one tap to the head. Not a lot you can do there. And now we're facing a 11-0.
You know, it's not like I said this earlier. It's not the first one, so you're not. It's not like a blow. Well, I'm not gonna say it's not a blowout because unfortunately it is, but it's not the. You're not the only team to get run on by this. Like Greater Johnstown has been an absolute dominating team so far, and. It's just kind of really speaks to their quality of players and teamwork at this point. So let's see if they bring home this perfect half.
I haven't seen a lot of the Valorant scene, but just watching this Greater Johnstown team, I have to imagine that they're going to be running through the season pretty confidently, especially after this game. We see them trying to take the A side, the usage of the Viper wall, and just no pressure through this wall. It's going to leave a free plant.
Skago caught out in the wrong point, and Zivru will clean up 2 there. That's making it a little bit more difficult. 5v2 on this retake with the plant down. Yeah, I mean, you got to fire through, at some point, you got to fire through those and at least try to get some value out of this. But Italian Schemo, the last remaining hope, probably not really going to be able to do too much in the 1v3. Just may try and draw somebody out, but he's been spotted. He knows what it is. And that will be the perfect half at 12-0 for Greater Johnstown. Just one more map, just one more round remains in the match.
Match point.
I think if you're Bishop Carroll, you don't want to exit this with a 13-0. So I think the small goal here is to at least get 1 for the road. You know, you're gonna be able to go back in this VOD. You're gonna be able to watch what you did wrong. You're gonna see what Greater Johnstown did right. I think you should have a respect for your opponents to see what they did right and try to take that and adapt to that. And I think the small victories, the small things for improvement is what you really need to work for right now. But let's get 1 for the road at least for now, for this current moment.
I'm with you entirely. I want to see, you know, it's the small victories that really add up to things like this. And I think the smallest victory you can get is even smallest victory here at this point is even just spike down. I think that's even a good point. If you can get in, get the spike down and get yourself in the position, you're in a good spot. But this rush is good. I like it. Shaq will trade out there. So the rush is on A, but I like the positioning of Greater Johnstown. They've kind of used their agents successfully well. They've sectioned off B, and now that the team has rotated through, they've kind of fearlessly just taken control of this A point, and now they have to fight through. Will be a pick coming through on Blaze, and that utility coming out from the Brimstone. Try to buy something there. Will get traded. Italian Schemo finds one and will get traded immediately, but they will trade out there, and it's a 1v1. If you're going to carry, right now is the time. Boy Hockey God needs to come up huge here. Does have utility. We'll send out the Hawk. That's good enough. You'll find out where they are. No spike in hand, but it all comes down to the 1v1 here.
Double Sheriff, but Chamber, I like Chamber Sheriff a little bit better. I'm just a Chamber man. Look at the shots, and yeah. You can ADS. The one advantage of Chamber's Deagle, you can ADS down it. That is the key there. Wins the 1v1. Greater Johnstown won every 1v1 throughout this series, pretty much.
Yeah. But that, again, it speaks to the quality of Greater Johnstown. Like, Greater Johnstown has been an incredible team so far in the season, and they've just, you can see it there. 4 of the members of Greater Johnstown just topping the board. Like, they've just looked very good this whole. They've just looked really good. I mean, 13-0. There's not much to say about that map, unfortunately.
Yeah, a lot of teams after a victory, when you're talking about the team that won, you're like, well, what could they have done better? You really can't get much better than 13-0. If there's something better, someone tell me, please, because I don't know that it exists. But
arguably they died.
That's true.
The only way you make that a little better is you just go no deaths. That's asking way too much, I think. Like, let's be real here. Let's not ask. Like, we can't even ask tens to do that. So let's not ask that.
I've seen YouTube videos of Radiance playing bronze, like a 1v5, and they still died. So
exactly. But unfortunately, that's going to be the end of it for us. So thank you all for spending the day with us and catching some great Valorant games. You can catch us in the same time, same place for more Valorant action here next Monday starting at 3:30. But tomorrow at 3:30, is this you? Do I ping you?
Yeah, you're gonna see me, friends, tomorrow at 3:30. We're gonna have some Rocket League action at the Esport Company, twitch.tv/Esport Company, and Division 2 will be taking on twitch.tv/the Tech High School League. Tech High School League. I almost said the High School League. No, I'll be around for Rocket League tomorrow.
Yeah, I know I'll be checking that out. If you want to find out more about us and see where we are when we're not here, you can hit !socials to check out with us and find our socials and see what you do. And I'm sorry, that's for the Esport Company. If you want to find us, !casters. But hey, thank you all, and thank you for joining me today. I appreciate it. Everybody, take care, be safe, and have a great day. We'll see you next week for even more.